am I the asshole for divorcing my wife because our sex life will never be what it used to be?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay. I'll just hop into it, I guess.
It's part of life, brother.
So,
I don't know.
When my wife was pregnant, her libido dropped.
She's pregnant.
So yeah, already off the bat. Okay.
The fuck?
It's tough first sentence. I searched around on the internet about it, and apparently it's very common in cases of pregnancy and postpartum period. So I didn't push any of it further. Then she gave birth and no sex.
Because she just gave birth.
Yeah. I waited for a year to broach the conversation about sex because apparently breastfeeding decreases libido. After a lot of discussion, we went to therapy. Couples therapy was a very different experience to me. My wife was just better talking about her feelings. So I was advised to go to individual therapy to help me with it. I found a dude and we hit it off instantly. He's my type of therapist, no BS kind of guy. Calls you out on your BS and then accurately explains what's going on. Our other therapist is a woman and very preachy in the way she talks. I'm like, get to the point.
Boy. Here we go.
Brother.
Jesus. So a few months into couples therapy, and the conclusion was that I need to manage my expectations regarding sex, that we are not going to be having that much, and that the quality of sex that we once were having. That was a weird way to phrase that, but basically temper his expectations.
He's not the brightest, so like I don't expect any good writing.
So I asked my therapist if I have to manage my expectation, and he said, not really if I don't want to. He said there's nothing wrong with having expectations, and if my wife can't meet them, she can't meet them. What I can't do is agree to compromise and then hold it against her head, which I guess that's makes
true.
Sense, kind of. Yeah, because if he agrees to it, he can't.
Yeah, he agreed on the compromise.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I have decided that that compromise on sex is not for me. I do not want to be in a relationship that is not sexually satisfactory. I have given 2 years to this relationship. I'm not willing to give any more. And it seems like couples therapy.
Wait, what did you give besides
math? Wait, 2 years?
So I'm not 100% sure on this, and I could not find an answer to this. I'm not sure if he means like I've given 2 years with no sex or 2 years total in the relationship. Okay. I'm not sure what he means.
Probably the first one, but the way he worded it makes it sound like the second one, which would be of a pretty insane trajectory of a relationship. Yeah. But I mean, I guess, it definitely could happen, but it could definitely. Probably the first one. You're right.
And I'm not willing to give any more. And it seems like the couples therapist and my wife are trying to make me be okay with subpar sex life. So I communicated it in therapy, and the therapist's response was basically that she is doing what I think she is doing, but I should see it in a positive light because she knows what she is doing and I don't. So I think, to decipher that, I think what he's saying is that the therapist is asking him to compromise on the sex life.
It's like that exhibit GIF right now. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, you're just like connecting the dots. Yeah, so I think that's what he's saying. He's like, what I predicted the therapist was telling me was correct, but she was telling him that pretty straight up. So I don't know. He seems a little dense, but anyway. I told him that divorce is a good solution here because I will never be the one to manage my expectation. Therapist said she wants to talk more about it, and I told her I'm not willing to give her any more money and whether she would do it for free. She didn't say anything.
Are you trying to get a discount on therapy?
Yeah.
Nice try, buddy.
Damn.
She didn't say anything and I just smiled and walked away. I ended our couples therapy and asked my wife for divorce. My wife is not happy about it and now wants to work on our relationship. But a relationship without a very good sex life is not a good goal worth fighting for me. She said she will work towards it. I said, do it then. It's been 2 days and nothing has really changed. I mean, she has all the time she needs before the divorce is finalized, so that's that. But I'm not hopeful. I'm giving more to this relationship than I'm getting back from it. It is not sustainable. I think divorce is best for both of us. So am I the asshole?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I truly don't know what he's putting into it because he hasn't really said anything.
Have you tried making yourself attractive to her? Because I'm sure you're not right now.
Well, beyond any of that, like, so you're going to couples therapy, you're going to therapy. Going to therapy is the first step. The next step is making actions to improve upon your life and your relationship. It doesn't sound like you're taking any actions. You're just saying, "Oh, I tried therapy, didn't work."
I think he's
I'm out.
cherry picking what the male therapist is saying,
yes.
and then the woman therapist.
That's what I was gonna go.
He's just also selectively hearing only the bad stuff, because it's just like I'm sure, because I mean, the guy therapist didn't say anything technically wrong. You know, if you agree on a compromise, you can't hold that against her. Facts, that's true. And then as far as like if compromise won't work for you, I guess then maybe, you know, it just doesn't work. Also true. But I'm sure he also said things like, if you really, you know, love your fucking wife, there's more to it than, you know,
than sex.
Is it really worth, like get a fucking fleshlight or something, brother? Like there's things for this. You know what I mean?
They do be hitting.
Yeah. Oh. Jesus Christ, John, you have a fucking flashlight. That's great.
It's funny. Juliet was the one that bought me one. I was like, thanks, dear.
I just saw that Blue Mountain State clip too. Where's my flashlight? I'm like, that's Jack Reacher.
Jesus.
Jack off Reacher.
Oh, jeez. Reach arounder. There we go.
Nice.
I'm alone in this situation.
Yeah. So, and the other thing I will say is I got the feeling that he didn't like the therapist because she was a woman. That's the feeling I got.
Same.
But even if that was the reason, you can work with your wife to find a new therapist. You know what I mean? That works for both of you.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And so I don't know, try someone else. You tried one person and then tried your own guy, found one that you really liked, which is good. That's great. Find a couple counselor that works for both of you. You know what I mean? And maybe they'll give a different insight, better advice. Who knows? You know, not every therapist is meant for everyone.
Yeah.
There are ones you have to go.
You got to shop around.
A couple.
To be honest, yes. As someone who's shopped around therapists before, yes. No. First time, it was like, oh, this is not a good fit, and you just move on to the next one. That's okay.
Yeah.
Are there, as someone who's never done therapy, when you're shopping around, do they have like a free trial, or like are you paying full price to be like, damn, that didn't work?
I guess it depends on the place.
Yeah.
Some places will like you might have to still pay, but they could refer you to another therapist in the same, office or someone they know or something like that. So
yeah, look at Maniac Therapists. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't get paid. I'm just saying, it's scary to pay the amount that some therapists cost, and then to be like, damn, that sucked.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, at least for me, like my company has a provider that does it, so it's like they're all within like one, I guess, company or organization, and like I would try it out and say, hey, appreciate your time. Would love to like kind of shop around other times, or possibly look into other therapists, and they're perfectly okay with it. I think it comes with the territory, right? Like not everyone is going to be a good fit. But kind of going back to this guy too, it's kind of crazy when he was saying something about like, I gave 2 years into this relationship, but thinking about what the timeline was within those 2 years. So that first year that I'm thinking of that they're together, that was probably the period of time where she was pregnant, right? So
yeah,
that probably explains like the libido, like is that how you pronounce it?
Libido.
Libido,
though. I like that.
Oh shit,
that's a new Pokemon.
English is not my first language. Fuck all of y'all. But it's not one of those things where like you can't. Plus, she's pregnant, bro. Like she's going through like so much hormonal changes.
Yeah.
Her body's changing. Maybe she's not into that shit during pregnancy, right? And then that second half of that second year per se, that's like a recovery period. Of course, depending on the type of birth that she gave, whether it's a C-section or like natural, that's still a fucking crazy amount of pain that she's probably going through. Not to mention probably the psychological shit she's going through postpartum. So I don't understand. Like, I get it. I understand where he's coming from, where like he doesn't want to be in a relationship where like physical intimacy is not present. Some people, that's a big need, and I completely understand that fact. But this guy, based on what he's just saying and based on the information that he provided, he does not bring anything valuable to that relationship outside of expecting sex from his wife. So what does he really contribute to the table?
Like, I haven't seen one time where he mentioned like
the kid.
Sure,
like, is he taking care of the kid?
Not even just the kid. If we're talking about like just purely sex life, he didn't mention one time where he tried to be like, you know, I tried to put on the moves, or, you know, I tried to make her feel special, or I call her beautiful, or blah, blah, blah. Just, you know, something that says you're trying. It sounds like you're just like, we're getting a divorce because we don't have sex. And then being 2 days later being like, she hasn't fucking tried shit. So like, it's over. Like, it sounds like you also don't fucking try shit.
Balls in her court.
Like the only thing that you try is being like, hey, how come we're not having sex? You're not trying to get her in the mood to have sex. She's probably just tired from raising this baby, probably by herself. And then when the baby finally goes to sleep, she has to fucking crawl into bed with your fucking bitch ass being like, why aren't we fucking fucking? You know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm fucking tired. That's why. Of course.
Yeah. The crazy part, I think this guy in his head, intimacy only equates to sex. And intimacy doesn't include like, hey, you know, gassing up your wife and say, damn, your hair looks good today. Or like, damn, that outfit is looking cute. Like, hey, you know, there's some shit like that. Or date night, something like that. Words of affirmation or shit like that. Anything to kind of help her get to that state again. And it seems like all he is just like, I expect sex from you. Let's do it. That's it.
I feel like a good way to not have sex is to just be like, why aren't we fucking having sex?
Let's fuck.
That's not going to work. Obviously, for 2 years, that didn't work, brother. Have you tried anything else?
Something.
Yeah. Reddit agree with you guys. Asshole.
Good.
Reboots are such a pain. Said, I feel we are missing some huge pieces of info here. There's not a single line where he mentions what he has done to improve his wife's state of mind, circumstance, so she wants to have sex. He just said there's no sex, she's not working on it, and now I'm divorcing her.
Yeah. He's not doing shit.
It's all in her, and he doesn't think any of this is on him. It sounds like he doesn't even see any value in her outside of the bedroom. Maybe the compromise was explained as if he doesn't step up and emotionally support his wife or physically support her as a parent/chores, then the lack of sex will be the casualty because the wife is exhausted from carrying the mental load. You're the asshole.
I just know his ass is selfish in bed too.
Oh yeah.
2 pump chump.
1 pump. Roll over. Okay. Good night.
Damn, that's crazy. Good night, babe.
Get therapy.